Hello everyone. So I am currently on a bucket list trip, Portugal and Spain. I'm starting out in Porto, several days here. I'm staying with my friend Heidi. And then I'll go on to Spain from there, a couple days in Madrid, about a week in Sebastian, a week in Barcelona. And so I'm starting out here in Porto. It takes, good solid day to travel to get from LA to here. And last night, Heidi and I were able to catch up a bunch and do a little West Coast swing dancing at her practicum. And now I thought I'm going to try to explore downtown Porto myself. So it's my last full day in Porto, and Heidi and I just had a lovely lunch at Flor de Lis in Foz. It's a beautiful location. They've got a spa and a hotel and a lovely restaurant, and then there's a Michelin star restaurant on the top level, and so we had a chance to have a nice lunch together here. So I'm going to go and explore Foz where she lives, check out the beach area, and we'll see what there is to see. I am in Madrid. I have a 2-night stopover here. It's the shortest leg of the trip, and I just wanted a day or two just to sort of walk around Madrid. I'm not trying to see everything, I just wanted a taste of it. And what I'm finding, because I've been trying to get myself lost in all of the little alleyways and streets, and I have been very successful with that so far, but I am finding that every couple blocks it seems like there's some sort of amazing building somewhere. Found my way to Plaza Mayor. Something I'm noticing is that my lack of sense of direction is completely at odds with my interest to go down side streets that are all at angles. But I did find Plaza Mayor anyway, which is cool. I got a recommendation for a place to do tapas for dinner tonight. There's a whole lot of places here, so I don't know how to pick. Might as well go with the recommendation if I can find it. That's the trick here. Here we are, Plaza Mayor. Okay, so I found the restaurant I was looking for. It's called Gustos, which was recommended by my Hotel Gabinette. And they do tapas, and I'm very excited about the tapas. I'm so excited, and I'm so not ready for Spanish yet, that I walked in and I said the very Spanish English phrase, Can I eat? It was so rude even in English. I've never ever walked into a place and said that in my entire life. But the good news is I sat down to order and I was able to do so all in Spanish. So I'm redeeming myself a little bit. Okay, so it's my only full day in Madrid, and I thought I'd try checking out the other side of the city. So I went for a walk, and now I'm in Retiro Park, which is what you're seeing behind me here. It's a pretty big park, and so I thought I'd sit down, rest a little, read a book, and then I'll probably do a loop and find my way to the Prado. I think that's what's on tap for today. We'll see. But yeah, I want to take it really easy. The city is big, and I generally find myself comfortable in smaller cities than this. So for me, it's about like not trying to just do it all, but just biting it off in small chunks, even if I'm only here for a couple of days. So. Okay, the whole Retiro Park area is awesome. I just found a rose garden, beautiful big rose garden here. This park is huge. There's a lot of different walking paths, a lot of places to sit. If you are an introvert and you want to kind of see people watch but not be amongst them, there's a million places for you to be here. This is the kind of place that if I lived here, which I can't really imagine, but if I lived here, I'd probably come here a lot and just like sit and read books and stuff. So this place, so far, highlight of Madrid for me. I did end up going into the Prado Museum, and the building itself, like, there's a lot more impressive looking buildings from the outside, but inside they've got a lot of works of art in there, of course. Famous museum. It's kind of like, how could there possibly be more rooms in here? You're constantly finding more rooms that you didn't see before. The works in this museum tend to be more portraits and religious paintings depicting human figures. It's not necessarily something that I know a ton about, so a lot of it blends together for me. But there were a couple things that really stuck out to me, all of which was Goya paintings, which makes sense for where I am. His black paintings, his darker works from later in his life, those were awesome. Yeah, as somebody who loves horror movies, I feel like I understand the mindset of whatever was happening for Goya when he created that whole series of paintings. And then on another floor, there was a painting, another Goya painting that was not part of the black paintings, but it was a really fun one nonetheless. It was called The Straw Mannequin, and it depicts 4 girls who are they're each holding a corner of a blanket, and they're throwing into the air with the blanket a straw mannequin. And so the straw mannequin's like in the air, like at an impossible angle. And it caught my eye when I walked into the room, or actually as I was leaving a room, and I just sat and looked at it for a little while. Is this beautiful or what? I made the mistake yesterday of getting a cup. A cone is the way to go at this place. A rose. That's how they do it. And it doesn't matter how many people are in line, they're still going to do this. What a novelty. Okay, it's been a full day on the train from Madrid to San Sebastian. I've been looking forward to this leg of the trip, and the second I got here, I feel like the city is the right size for me, but we'll find out. I'm going to be here for about a week, and it was a long day on the train, so I just thought I'm going to go get some dinner. I got an early bunch of tapas. Haven't seen a cod croquette that I didn't like yet. When I was little, I feel like I used to get chicken fingers and ravioli at any restaurant I went to, and it's becoming a thing with cod croquette now. Once I discovered it, there was no going back. But I had a couple other things tonight too, which were good, and a glass of wine, so who knows what this little update's going to be. I might just ramble. I think that's what's going to happen. And I got a lovely gelato. Not trying to do too much tonight, just thought I'd sort of keep wandering until I walked back to my hotel, but then I got to the waterfront and it's gorgeous, and actually it reminds me a lot of Hermosa Beach, but Spanish. So far I really like this place, and I can't wait to have a full day to explore. I have several full days to explore, so this is going to be really fun to see what this place has to offer.
Mais se la volta, que coisa luga, que coisa linda.
Okay, it is my first full day in San Sebastian, and I slept in a little bit this morning, so the timing is a little weird. I started with a Spanish omelet. I was hoping to go to the Maria Cristina Hotel for a tea, but it's not quite the right time for that, so I'm going to start by going for a walk. There's this walkable path that goes all along the outside of the center. You can sort of stay along the water for the whole time. So I'm going to do that walk and then see what I want to do after that. I love that there's just like one way to get to the top of these places and those are the only things that are developed. Okay, what I'm particularly loving about this structure here, I don't know if you can tell in this video, but they're just birds like kind of crisscrossing through it. I feel like I'm watching some sort of like a screensaver or sideways snow. I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's kind of spectacular just to see the birds constantly in motion around this, almost guarding it and protecting it. Okay, I stumbled onto this chocolate shop. I mean, stumble is the right word. There's all these alleyways and little shops down these alleyways, and I saw chocolate, and I walked in, and I got this, okay, I took a bite out of it already, but this heart, apparently it has hazelnut and almond in it. My brain actually exploded. It's a mirage that I'm talking to here, because my brain already exploded. And then as soon as I left the place, a whole tour group stopped in front of it and was talking about the place. So I guess I found the correct chocolate shop. Okay, I've done things a little bit out of order today, but after my nice walk around San Sebastian, I just had some afternoon tea at the Hotel Maria Cristina. This is a 5-star hotel. And while I was here, I was reading a book that I've been looking forward to reading called Lies and Weddings by my favorite author, Kevin Kwan, who is a lovely person, and I've been waiting to read this book, and this is exactly where you need to do that kind of thing. This hotel is gorgeous, as you can imagine, just by the outside, and I've just been lazing about today. This city is exactly my speed. So I've gone for a walk today in the other direction. I went the other way along the beach, I guess more south, and I found a park. It wasn't just any park, it had this behind me. It has the summer palace country home of Queen Maria Cristina from way back in the day. It's a palace, but it was meant to be more like a country home. I've been just sort of standing up here for a while, going back and forth, walking along the house, looking at the windows, thinking about what it'd be like to be inside, looking out. Because if you did that, the view that you have, so we'll start on this side. So this is sort of like the walkways that I've been on, the vantage point where I've been taking pictures. And now gonna keep going through, looking out at the water. And that's that little island that I was looking at yesterday. And then you keep going here. Yeah, so that's the view out of those windows. What an incredible place. It's not necessarily like the fanciest looking building. It's a country home. Where it is and what it feels like to be here is just so special. So it rained a little bit on the way here today, but just for like an hour, it wasn't too hard, and was able to duck into a couple places and get a little bite to eat while I was waiting it out. But you know, a little rain jacket will do out here. Yeah, what a special place San Sebastian is. Okay, it has taken me days to get the courage to eat the way I think you're supposed to eat in Old Town San Sebastian, which is, you see all these, okay, so every alleyway, there's tons of these alleyways, they're just everywhere. And they're filled with these bars, like tapas restaurants, and the idea is they have all of these small bites that are laid out on display, and you can also go in and you can order a specialty item and they can make it for you fresh, so you don't even get to see what it is. But at night, these places, there's a lot of people in them. And if I'm being really honest, when I look at the displays, most of the food terrifies me. I'm a pickier eater than I knew, and I don't know what's in all this stuff, and it doesn't look like ingredients that I necessarily want to eat. So it would take me a while looking at it to get comfortable with ordering. And then when you have a lot of people to contend with, that's even more intimidating. So I am intimidated. I'm very intimidated. But I'm trying today. So for breakfast / lunch, I went to a couple. I kept it simple. I ordered stuff I would normally order. Just cut up close, saw what they had. I had a cod croquette at one place. I had a tortilla, the Spanish omelet at another place. But I had it served the way I think you're supposed to be doing this. And so, I don't know, my challenge is tonight, can I have a whole dinner based on that? Can I just go to different places and get stuff? And I don't know, maybe try some new stuff, or maybe just be safe and the experience is the new thing. This is me going super far out of the comfort zone here, but hey, I'll do it again. Let's see what happens. I am stationing myself now in a park that's right across from City Hall. I walked around a bunch yesterday, but it was raining, or at least drizzling, and so I walked past this park. I hadn't seen it before, and I thought, I want to read there tomorrow. And that is what I'm doing. It is now tomorrow, and I am reading here in this park. Let's see if I can show you the view. You might remember this from yesterday. This is right along the beach, and there are some people out, buskers playing music. And I'm here to read and to lick my wounds a little bit because I went to my favorite chocolate shop, and the woman who knows me well now, she chooses chocolates for me every day to try, and or one chocolate a day for me to try. And she told me tomorrow's their day off, and I said, gasp, no. Day off? You can't have a day off while I'm visiting, but she is. So she loaded me up with a second chocolate that I can have tomorrow, minus the pilgrimage, which, you know, I'll deal with that when the time comes. But for now, I've enjoyed my chocolate, I'm going to read my book, and I'm going to brace myself for the adventure tonight of trying to get dinner. Doesn't seem like it should be a big adventure, but it is for me. Until then. I did it. Yeah. I had dinner tonight, which was in question before I left my place. I went to not one, not two, not three. I went to 4 different places where I could get pinchos. I had 2 in each place. I mostly know what I ate, but I don't always. There were a couple things I had that I was not entirely sure what I was eating. I even took a recommendation from somebody at one place, from one of the workers. That was one of the things I wasn't sure what I was eating, but it was delightful. Most of what I ate I liked, which was great news. This was a fairly low degree of difficulty day to do this task for the first time. It's a Sunday. It seems like it's not as busy on Sundays. I started early, so that definitely helped. I didn't have to fight crowds too much. It was more about really getting a chance to look at the displays and make some decisions about what I wanted to try. So that helped a lot because I didn't have to conquer 2 battles at once. But this was really cool. I'm feeling very accomplished. I celebrated with my second dessert of the day, a gelato at a place that I've had gelato at a couple days, and the person there recognized me. She's like, "Were you here yesterday?" I was like, "I sure was." That's right, I was here. And now I'm celebrating. I'm sort of ending my night where I tend to end my night, which is at the. Let me show you. Sort of in this south of center area where there's a guy playing music and a whole bunch of people sort of sitting and watching. Young people, old people, everybody is meeting here in one place to listen to this guy play music. I am celebrating my night. Gotta tell you, Sebastian is treating me so very well, and I am very glad to be here. Buses started coming, and people started getting on buses. Where were they going? Nobody knew. Are the trains going to move? I don't know. There's a train on the tracks right now. It stopped. People ran to get on it. People are running everywhere. They don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Even here, hours passed when my train to Barcelona was supposed to leave, but here we are.
What's really been funny is the people headed for Pamplona are the first ones to run to every bus, which just feels really ironic to me. So I may be in Vitoria Gasteiz until I die.
Okay, I'm in Barcelona now. It happened. I actually got here. First of all, let's talk about the train slash bus ride slash train ride again yesterday. I've had 3 different train trip days since I've been in Spain. Until yesterday, they worked out just fine. But yesterday was a disaster. So I had 2 legs of the trip, one from San Sebastian to Vitoria Gasteiz. And I found out a couple days before that they had switched the train portion to a bus portion up to Vitoria Gasteiz because of construction. So I thought, all right, that's fine. So we do that trip. And then I get to Vitoria Gasteiz. I was supposed to have like a almost 3-hour layover there, 3-hour stopover. And I find out no trains are going anywhere. None. People have been there for hours. People from a whole mess of people from who wanted to go to Pamplona. People from just all these destinations that they were aiming for, they weren't going anywhere. So at a certain point, an announcement comes on that's like, trains aren't going anywhere, and it becomes pandemonium. Buses start coming in to shuttle people to places, but they don't know where. They don't know where they're going. But are the trains coming? There was one train on the tracks, but it was stopped. Oh my goodness. It was a mess. I know a little Spanish, but not enough to get through a situation like that. So fortunately, I connected with this family of 3 women who were a mother and her 2 daughters who were sort of helping me figure out how to get to Barcelona. In the end, the explanation was there was a train that eventually did come up to the tracks like 3 hours later, and they decided to bus in people from another city, and then when those people came, they were going to take us to all of the cities that we had missed. So we got a little tour of Spain. We went everywhere. We went to all of the destinations, and at a certain point, and if that wasn't complicated enough, because we were leaving like 3 hours later than I was supposed to leave, if that wasn't complicated enough, the bus kept stopping on the tracks, not at official approved stops, but just stops in the middle of the route. At one point, they just shut off all the lights on the train. People clapped when the lights came back on. I was really fortunate that the people on my car were funny and good-humored about the whole thing. It could have been very different on another car. There was a woman, an older woman, who was absolutely savage. Somebody kept calling her, maybe trying to get updates on her trip. Maybe they were trying to pick her up. And she kept giving them the funniest updates. She'd be like, no, we're stopped again. The driver's having a sandwich. Or at one point, she picks up the phone. She's like, no, we're stopped again. Hey, do you think that we can get a mailbox on this train? Like, we're going to be here so long that we can get snail mail. Eventually one of the people who run the company, Renfe, was walking up and down, and she got into a conversation with them. She's like, I think I deserve a sandwich for this. Maybe some sort of caviar. It was hysterical. Even the people who came on the loudspeaker, who never came on to say anything useful at all, they just started messing with us. So they would say things like, please do not share personal stories on the train. It was wild. We ended up getting in, when we were moving about twice as fast as we've moved on any other train trip since I've been here. So we ended up getting in maybe like after midnight, and then it took a little while to get back to my hotel. But I'm in Barcelona now, guys. It happened. It didn't look likely yesterday, but here we are. And today I'm doing sort of the big task. I want to try to find Palau Sant Jordi, which was the Olympic gymnastics venue in 1992. Barcelona was the first Olympics I ever saw. And I think it's actually like up on this like mountain / hill. It's not a mountain, it's a hill. So we'll see what this looks like to get over there, but I'm looking forward to, that's like kind of the one thing I knew I wanted to do while I was here, just to see it and then wander around for the rest of the time. But I'm very pleased to finally be in Barcelona. Well, I walked to the Palau Sant Jordi and had my requisite emotional breakdown, which I wasn't really expecting. So that venue was the gymnastics venue for the 1992 Summer Olympic Games in Barcelona, obviously, and Shannon Miller got silver medal in the all-around. She got 5 Olympic medals altogether. Frankly, she was robbed, because if you watch Tatiana Gutsu's vault, her score was not correct, I feel. But Shannon Miller was sort of the darling of the Olympic Games that year, and it was the first Olympics I had watched. And I remember sitting in my basement and like just playing board games with myself for just 2 weeks, watching every single type of coverage I could watch of any event at all. I feel like I think I saw like dressage or something, and I was like, what is this? I just watched everything I get my hands on, and so Barcelona is a really cool place to me, and Shannon Miller is a cool person in a cool place, and so I went to Palau Sant Jordi to see what I could see, which isn't much. They've got it behind a locked gate. I tried to take a picture, and some woman ran out screaming from another building like, no, no, no. I was like, come on, I came from America for this. But it's weird because I think it's a concert venue now, so it must be a very photographed building. But you can't get close to it right now, so I got as close as I could, and then I just spent some time at the Olympic Sport Museum. And, you know, I made a decision to come on this trip instead of going to Paris 2024. The Summer Olympic Games is about to start. And I thought, you know what? I don't need to do all that. But as sort of a compromise for myself as I closed the chapter, I came to Barcelona at the end of this trip because I wanted to see a place that was really important to me. And when I broke down in front of that venue, it was very clear that it meant a lot to me. So, you know, will I never experience anything Olympic again? I probably will. I mean, it's coming to LA in 2028. I wouldn't turn it down if there was an opportunity, but there are other things to do in the world, and I'm ready for more experiences than just Olympic experiences. But I'm having an Olympic experience my first day in Barcelona, and I'm so glad that I did, and it really feels like kind of revisiting the beginning of that chapter of my life as I close it out. coming up on the end of my trip, and I thought I'd take a second to not recap, but maybe rank the cities in order of least favorite to most favorite, because some of the places you might have more of a sense than others of how I felt about them. So number 4 on my list is where I am right now, Barcelona. Barcelona is a big city. It feels like a big city. There was a lot of stuff that I would normally love that it kind of was covered up by stuff I don't love. Like, for example, I love European doors, big doors, and there are a lot of them here. Beautiful doors, but they're covered by graffiti, and that's not something I love, and that's not what I wanted to depict. So there's just a lot of that here. Like, there were a lot of cool things to do and a lot of great places to eat, but I couldn't find myself comfortable. I was happy to do things here, but I wasn't really comfortable being here, which may seem weird because you're on vacation, of course. You don't know a place, you wouldn't be comfortable there. But some places I do feel comfortable right away, and so this is number 4 for me. Number 3 is Porto. Porto is a walkable city. A lot of interesting things there. My only Portuguese stop, but there wasn't anything especially magical about it for me. It was fun to see and fun to experience, but I also don't feel like in a rush to go back. Number 2 on my list was Madrid. Madrid is also a big city, but especially now that I compare it to Barcelona, it had a lot of charm, especially being in like sort of the older parts of town where all the older buildings are. That part was actually pretty cool. And, there was always something interesting around the corner, always a new, strange little alleyway to explore. And I didn't even see the sprawl of it, but it was sort of fun to get a look at what was down every nook and cranny of that city. And best on my list, of course, is San Sebastian. You probably got a sense of that already. I loved San Sebastian. What a glorious place. Not dissimilar to Hermosa Beach in its way. And I just really felt at home in that city, even having never been there before. And I loved being there. So that is my ranking. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of my journey. And I'd love to hear about yours if you've got one coming up or if you have one that you've done. Always loving to explore new things about places that I've been to or want to go back to. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little taste of Portugal and Spain.